Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Cricket from the Indian Premier League now taking the spotlight on the show. West Indian Hetmyer's 32-ball half-century was in vain as his Rajasthan Royals suffered a 58-run loss to the Gujarat Titans in match 23 at the Narendra Stadium in Ahmedabad. The Titans took first strike and posted a challenging 217 off their allotted 20 overs. Player of the match, Sai Sudarshan, top scored with 82 from 53 deliveries. Tushar Deshpande and Mahesh Tishkana both picked up 2 wickets apiece. In their reply, Rajasthan Royals struggled to build consistent partnerships as only 3 players got to double figures. Hetmyer top scored with 52 and captain Sanju Samson contributed 41 as the Royals got bowled out for 159 in 19.2 overs to hand the Titans a 58-run victory. After that 4th straight win, the Titans now lead the standings with 18 points, while the Royals slipped to 7th on 4. Let's hear now the post-match thoughts of both captains. First, Sanju Samson from the Rajasthan Royals, and then Shubman Gill from the Titans.
Around 15 to 20 extra runs we gave in the bowling. I felt like, yeah, I think they also batted really well, but yeah, I think a couple of sixes or 15 to 20 runs extra we gave away in the bowling. Whenever we wanted to carry on with momentum, we kept on losing wickets at the wrong interval, but still when I was batting with Hetty, the ball was coming on very nicely. We were hitting those 6s and 4s. We still thought that it's chaseable. I think we both had a decent partnership, but then I lost my wicket and I felt like, yeah, that's when we lost the game.
Good total firstly put up on the board. It wasn't easy the first 3-4 overs. I think it was nipping a bit, but I think the way Sai and Joss batted was just tremendous. And you'll take 220 any day of the week, you know. And then we went. I think the way we have been bowling has been very clinical, and our fast bowlers have been doing really tremendous job.
Does it ever?
Yeah, so fine win there, and Ricardo, we have to say that Sai Sudarshan, one of the top batters in the tournament. Last year he was pretty strong as well, one of only 7 batters to get over 500 runs in the IPL last year, and right now he's just 15 runs short of Nicholas Pooran's tally, which has him holding the orange cap.
Yeah, for sure, and great to see Hetmyer getting some runs today as well. I thought he was quite brilliant, especially took a liking to the onside of his 52 runs. 42 of those came on the onside, and something that struck me about the knock as well that I was pleased to see, he faced just 2 dot balls in that entire knock. Made that 3 dot balls in that entire knock, so faced 32 deliveries and only 3 dot deliveries. So that was really good, because that's an issue that we've had with West Indies batsmen over time, where we feel that they soak up too many dot deliveries, but not today for Hetmyer. He started the IPL with 42, and that was a decent way to start, but he hasn't really kicked on to this point. So great to see him coming up with this half-century today. One of the rare shots through the offside, that one you're looking at, I think it was his only offside boundary, but yes, he was especially savage on the onside, and it was a really good knock. Unfortunately, couldn't get his team closer, couldn't give his team a real shot at winning the match when they were chasing well over 200 runs. It was always going to be difficult, and as it turned out, it wasn't to be, but a solid knock, and good to see him getting into the tournament and getting a solid score.
Yeah, and I was looking at one of the reviews of the match, and they were assessing Sai Sudarshan and his impact on his team at the moment. And one of the comments did suggest that they did not think that he would have been an outstanding T20 player, because he's a player that has a measured approach to batting. I think his first-class average is about 40, and people thought earlier in his career that he would more be inclined to be a red ball cricketer. But I think that's one of the things about these Indians now, Ricardo, where they are showing a lot of dexterity across formats, you know, because, you know, a lot of these T20 players in the IPL have shown that if they get an opportunity in Test cricket, they can be just as good.
Well, the truth is, and I think we've had this discussion on the show before, traditional batsmen can do well in the T20 format. And I think it's a misconception that individuals think you have to be able to hit every ball out of the park for you to have a lot of success in the T20 form of the game. Not the case for me, because quality batsmanship is still required in T20 cricket, especially when you get on surfaces that's offering something for the bowlers, both the fast bowlers and the spinners. You need the technical ability to be able to negotiate that. You need a technical ability to be able to consistently pick gaps or hit over the top in difficult batting conditions. Yes, it is an advantage in the T20 format to have powerful players who can consistently clear the boundary ropes, but we've seen on a number of occasions that if you have too many of those players in your team without the technical ability to manage certain situations, then you'll have situations where you don't score many runs on challenging surfaces. So it's just another player, and you speak about the depth and quality of the Indians, Lance, so it's showing that ability to be able to handle themselves in different conditions, in different situations. And for me, that's what you want, generally complemented by the players who can strike big. And I think it's part of the reason I mentioned this as well in terms of role play in the T20 format, why a lot of the West Indian players will do very well in the IPL, because you already have the traditional players coming from India or England or whatever the case might be, and then the West Indian players supplement those teams because they can hit big, and so those specific roles magnified and essentially makes it easier for them because they know exactly what they need to do. When you come into a West Indies setup and you have all those impact players now in one unit, and you're asking them to play outside the role that they are accustomed to, or everybody is just trying to smash every ball out of the park, then you have a completely different proposition. And so I think it's part of why it's important for the West Indies to develop more players like that, even in the T20 format, while at the same time still having those power hitters who can impact games at the top and at the back end consistently.
Yeah, all right. So don't forget that the IPL is on SportsMax. Thursday morning's game, 10 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time. 9 o'clock in Jamaica will be the Royal Challengers Bengaluru against the Delhi Capitals. The Royal Challengers Bengaluru, formerly Royal Challengers Bangalore, who Chris Gayle hit a mammoth 175 for in 2013. And in our next segment, we'll talk a little about Chris Gayle and a documentary being filmed in his honor. Back in a moment.